What is up, YouTube? Today we're going to talk about why you're not making money as an SME. What is an SME? An SME is a subject matter expert. Maybe you've worked in a particular field for a certain amount of time. Maybe you've focused on one thing. Maybe if you're in the medical field, you focused on patient care. Maybe you focused on the technical side of medicine. Maybe you work in leadership and recruitment. Or maybe you're a music professional and you know a lot about music, the topics of mixing music. You would be considered a subject matter expert. There are many jobs out there. This one example that you see is a seasoned career service professional with 12 years of experience in career coaching. So I've been career coaching for over 20 years, along with teaching and a subject matter expert. So it has allowed me to diversify what I can teach, share, and show. So for me, I have worked as a subject matter expert at Amazon. Yes, at Amazon. I've worked at Norvisk Pharmaceutical Group. And what did I do at these places? I also currently work for a contract as an SME for an education group called Propel. And I do all of these things part-time and or on a contract basis. So for one contract, I teach career services and remote jobs for medical individuals because I've worked in that industry. I've also, on the other end, have a contract where I teach certification prep for certain medical certification tests. So I am a subject matter expert in medical assisting, billing and coding, a subject matter expert in the RMA certification exam, CCMA certification exam, billing and coding, CMCS, and many, many others that I have decided to study and become a subject matter expert. Now, I mentioned that I worked at Amazon. So, what did I do there? Most people don't know that with Amazon, they have a certain section geared towards healthcare, and they were looking for someone to write and put together a program to teach their employees to transition into the medical field. So I was hired as a subject matter expert to look at their process and put things in order. So I'm a career coaching subject matter expert, a certification exam subject matter expert, a course curriculum subject matter expert, and I also learn apps and teach and train them. So, medical learning and ordering apps, computerized order entry, medical records apps. So, I also teach those. So, I become proficient in one thing. Therefore, I can teach and train in this field. So you might have tons of experience and you could potentially be a subject matter expert. So, what is an SME? They're an authority on a specific area, practice, and process, technical method, or piece of equipment. So, for me, right now, I am learning to become an SME in YouTube. That is correct. This is a technical method in figuring out the app. And why is that important? Because companies actually look for people that are SMEs in using apps, games, processes, and procedures. So let me show you. So what we see here on our screen is a social media SME. So I could potentially learn and delve myself into social media, learn all the bells and whistles, and get a company to hire me as a subject matter expert. Here's another content creator to run a channel on SME education and awareness. So you may not know this, but I actually work now as a content creator for SME. I dug into YouTube and decided to start making videos about the actual changes in YouTube. So this goes right along with my SME. As I explained earlier, I also do subject matter expert in medical on the clinical side and on the technical side. So maybe you've been doing this for a very long time and you have some awareness about becoming a CME, a subject matter expert in content creating. And how do you do this? You learn about apps, you learn about how they work, you keep down with the updates. And as long as you keep up with the updates and you can tell people how things change, you can be a subject matter expert. So let's look in some other areas of SME. One of the biggest areas in SME is linguist and language, helping people write curriculum for Spanish, Arabic, foreign languages curriculum development, Chinese. We have so many others for subject matter experts. SME. So you can assist in writing programs. So be a native speaker of the target language. This job here, as you can see, is 100% remote. A lot of the SME jobs I do are online. You could be missing out on some money full time. You probably have a wealth of information in a particular topic and don't even know that your information is valuable. So, what else can you do? For me, I also work in Medicaid subject matter expert, which is a type of grant funded insurance program. There are so many different jobs in the medical field where you could be a subject matter expert. Maybe you're a subject matter expert in clinical. Maybe you know a lot about medical terminology. So, my actual resume says that I am a subject matter expert in clinical and administrative medical courses and field in multiple areas, to include an SME app content creator that also has learned the ins and outs of YouTube and share that information on my channel. So my channel serves as a dual purpose. Employers can see that I actually know how to use YouTube, and they can also look and say, hey, she could kind of figure these things out for us as well, which I have done, which I actually had a lot of success in looking at and doing. Maybe you know a lot about financial analyzing. That could be a subject at which you could be proficient. Or maybe you're looking for something that has absolutely nothing to do with medical. So let's look at non medical related subject matter expert jobs. So here we have a subject matter project manager expert. And so if you have project management, you could be a subject matter expert there. Risk control, vulnerabilities, and management. Maybe you've worked in management and compliance before, and you want to be a subject matter expert there. That looks like a banking type job. So, definitely in banking, there are jobs. So, we have a senior manager, director, remote. That job is also looking for managers. Data management and governance SME. Maybe you were a filer and managed data. Maybe you scan documents or manage data as part of your job. They are looking for subject matter experts. So, definitely something to think about when you're looking for these jobs. So, if you know a topic, you could pretty much learn anything and learn it well and teach others a particular process or field or something like that. So let's go back to what our subject matter expert is: an authority on a specific area, practice, process, technical method, or piece of equipment. So I am an SME on YouTube, an SME on MetApp, OpenEMR, Spring Charts, Epic. So all of those things that I've learned proficiently and can teach others, I can now be an SME. An SME may be used by a variety of industries to help solve problems to create new processes. So that's what I like to do, learn new and cutting edge ways to help people solve problems so they could create new processes. Continue to gain knowledge through continuing education. I am always self learning, always taking courses, always reading about YouTube updates, medical updates on the clinical side, business updates as a manager, and technical updates for some of those apps that I know really well. So, what is an expert? So, a subject matter expert offers companies and clients highly specialized knowledge regarding a specific area, practice, process, technical method, or a piece of equipment. So, you can be a subject matter expert in any of those areas. As for myself, I love to work in the practice of medicine and processes and how things work here on YouTube, technical methods on how they change apps, also in the medical field, how you can do electronic billing and processing on medical record software. So I've diversified my portfolio as a subject matter expert in many, many areas. Subject matter experts in some fields often serve as an expert witness in lawsuits and legal actions. A few years ago, actually had to do this with a training program that mentioned that it was a certification program. When the students were done, I was going to prep them for certification. And the school said, no, we don't do that. It is a certified program where they can take the test, but we don't have to give it to them. So of course, lawsuits ensued, and I had to testify to the fact of my understanding that I was to teach them certification. Long story short, the students wound up getting certified, but not through the school. They actually wound up getting certified with me as a subject matter expert. As I am an expert on the certification exams, I have created a whole business around certifying people as an SME. So, portable traits, SMEs, are used in many industries. So, human resources, law, education. So I heavily focus mine in the education industry. So literally could teach and educate in any area, whether it's Amazon, whether it's Nordisk, whether it's a college or a business. I can assist in using those certification examinations, and I can also assist them in how to work their medical apps. I've recently also been asked to help a medical facility with their YouTube channel because they're having a problem with that. So, guess who's going to be a subject matter expert in YouTube? This girl right here. You can diversify your portfolio. So, here's some other areas you could be a subject matter expert in: accounting, public relations, health. Maybe you work in wellness. Maybe you do some sort of wealth and caring and healthy eating. You could be a subject matter expert. Customer service is huge. If you've worked in customer service, we need subject matter experts to train people and to really work through the process. So, what does your subject matter expert do? This is what I do: analyze company activities to ensure resources are used efficiently. So, I literally sit down and look at medical apps, see how medical practices are using them, work out how they could be used better, make training memos and materials, and make a video to shop out. So, I thought, why not do the same thing? Analyze YouTube, get those activities and resources so people can use their YouTube studio efficiently. Providing documentation and communication regarding specialized organizational processes. So I connect you right back to the documents that show you the step by step process on YouTube. Also, the step by step process when I give certification tests. or the step by step process when I teach people how to use medical records apps like OpenEMR, Spring Charts, or Epic. Those are softwares I've become proficient in and have learned them so I can teach others as a subject matter expert. Creating and editing the process to help businesses perform a task. So I've recently been asked by a business to help them in their concept in updating their YouTube. I've also been asked by a college and education group recently to update their medical assistant program because the certification test is changing in 2023. So, as a subject matter expert, I will go in, look at the new exam, update, tell them what's new and different, and put together a video and or program. So you will be seeing shortly on my YouTube channel an update to the newest certification tests. Because as a subject matter expert, I keep ahead of the trends. I stay on trends of things so people can learn. And that's in any area that I'm interested in. Creating leadership and aligning company and personal values in a strategic vision. This is true. I always believe in using the most updated skills, processes, and everything to keep you working well. There's so many people that have been on YouTube for many years that are not aware of the multiple changes that could really help their channel. Just with keeping track of things, many of you who've been on YouTube for a long time are actually YouTube experts. I don't think you realize that you are social media SME experts. I've showed you earlier in this video how content creators or YouTube specialists are needed by companies and organizations because you've been working at this, you've been doing this. So why not be an expert in a certain niche on YouTube? Making recommendations for technology, software, and equipment. So I also do that in the medical field. What type of software would be best for your medical records company? What type of software is best for medical assistants to use? What type of software is best for nurses and doctors to use as part of my profession? So, what do you need to do to become a subject matter expert? Gain knowledge of a subject. So you can do by multiple things. You could take an online class, you could be certified in something, maybe you have a nursing license, and maybe you have passed the test and you've gone through and have your surefire way to pass. You would be a nursing subject matter expert. Or maybe you know about a certain type of art and you've explored it, or you learned about artifacts and you know about artifacts and old items as far as the historic value. You'd be surprised how many colleges and organizations would be looking for your skills. You're going to look for opportunities to increase your subject matter expert skills. So I've used my YouTube to increase my knowledge as a subject matter expert in the YouTube app. So that is what I'm doing here. You can also volunteer or help some people on the side, or maybe you actually help people in your everyday life. If you do wellness videos, those are the types of videos that where you could become a subject matter expert. A business or wellness business organization, they may be interested in you. You're going to seek continuing educational opportunities. So if there's anything, and it even says here, posting on social media and staying current on the latest news and trends about a subject. So that's what I do, post on social media and stay current with the trends of YouTube about this subject, among other things. Test and test again. So you always have to kind of test where you are. I constantly test medical apps and exams. I constantly teach and train every day as a professor. When we get new items to the colleges that I work, I am the one to test them to see if they work and if they're valuable. So I've just moved that same idea as a medical subject matter expert over to YouTube. Test and test again. So I always constantly test apps to see if it works, changing some things on YouTube because you have to remain cutting edge with the software. Yes, YouTube is looking different these days, but not only is it looking different, it can also do many different things. So staying on the cutting edge could be exactly what you need to be an SME. Be an authority. As an SME, it is important to present yourself as an authority on a given subject. So Q&A websites offer expert advice. You can position yourself as a leader by starting an informative blog or YouTube channel on your subject matter. And that is what I did. I am a subject matter expert in career services, just like this woman is in the very beginning of the article. 12 plus years, only I have 20 plus years in getting people jobs. I also work as a subject matter expert in clinical, administrative, and now, of course, YouTube. So you can actually be an authority, as it mentions here. Set that up on YouTube. It's very easy for people to find me and what I do. I have been offered jobs by billing company to teach about insurance, to use medical apps, to certify for tests, and to be an SME for your YouTube and or social media. So you're going to prioritize here. Put your priorities in order. Prioritize authenticity. You must be yourself. Consumers who might benefit from your services will appreciate that. So part of the reason why I started my YouTube channel in the beginning, and you could go back to my video, is to really help people with careers and jobs. And as a subject matter expert, I have to know about apps and clinical and all of that. So I thought, why not take that same idea and apply it to YouTube and be a subject matter expert in many areas? So we have SME scenarios here. You could work for a board of directors. Maybe you work for an organization. Here's one. Jonathan works for a digital company pairing consumers with credit card partners. He is a credit card SME responsible ensuring all communications about credit cards are updated. And you probably thought, seriously, I could be a subject matter expert in credit cards? Absolutely. You know stuff. There are things that you know that we take for granted, and businesses would love to have your experience. Angie is an SME who works for a national floor care company. She helps the company secure new clients by sharing her knowledge of floor care principles. So, believe it or not, you can do something and have tons and tons of experience as an SME. To develop your communication skills are key. But to be an SME, you really kind of have to plan what areas you are good at. What do you like to do? You probably have 10 topics that you could be a subject matter expert in. This way, you could diversify your portfolio and learn and help multiple people in the YouTube universe and many people in real life. If you're looking at a job like Amazon or a big business or a college or university, you can work there as an SME. I have, and since starting my YouTube channel, I've learned even more about SMEs, how they're content creator SMEs, just like this job we see here. This content creator to run a channel, SME education and awareness. So they're looking for someone to run a YouTube channel for them, education and awareness and updates. So I've been approached by many companies since doing this on my channel. I've also been approached by other companies to teach some of the other things on my page. I've recently been hired to teach a certification exam review course, and for an insurance company, teaching the basics of health insurance benefits. From my most recent video, what are you paying for in insurance? So I'm doing the same thing here with YouTube as a content creator. Maybe you know about music therapy or care or construction, IT, nursing, medical, patient care, or another language. You could be a subject matter expert sitting on a lot of skills and experience that employers look for. So Think about that in the subject matter expert. Hopefully, you've learned something about an SME today. Many of you have tons and tons of skills that you could be using to help people to make money. The main reason why I started my channel is to teach, train, and help. Most of what I do is remote and online because a lot of my teaching and training in SME work is actually remote. It is online. So these are some things you need to think about as the subject matter expert. Hopefully, you've learned something about the SME. My name is Carla at Carla's Career Shortcuts, and my new channel, Your YouTube Remote Teacher. So, I will be your remote teacher on YouTube and your SME. Hopefully, you've learned a lot from this video today. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know if you ever heard of SME before, or a subject matter expert, or if you knew that that was a career choice for you. My name is Carla at Carla's Career Shortcuts. Hit that notification bell. Thanks so much, everyone. Until next time, take care.